Hey everyone, my name is Brian Moss. I hope you enjoyed my cheesy introduction to my educational strategy game called Cell Wars. The goal of this game is to teach some functions of immune system biology. Actually, during peer review, I was asked quite a few times, why did I choose biology? Um, this is a computer science program, so it does seem like a random choice. But when we were given the assignment of creating some project, I couldn't shake this random desire to create a strategy game from the immune system. The immune system parallels a strategy game very well. I also have a background in biology, so that might have been part of the inspiration as well. Let's go ahead and dive into it. If you want to see a video of just gameplay, I'll include another link of just playing through all three levels. In this one, I'm going to slow down the pace a bit and talk about design decisions that are important elements to have in an educational game. The game starts out, each level comes up with a pop-up and tells you where you are. You're in the dermal layer of the skin here for the first scene. And this is partially because your skin is your first layer of immune defense, and it also helps kind of attach the player to the scene and give it some meaning. Turn the volume here. And this goes to one design theory in games, is that it's pretty important to create a story. And so in the first scene, you're in the skin, and there's been an infection and you're fighting bacteria. A really common occurrence that happens, and it's part of your first line of defense of your immune system to respond with macrophages and with neutrophils. They're typically the first ones to respond. And so all of this information is incorporated in and not necessarily displayed in a pop-up window or in some sort of information box. It's just the information of the game that helps create a story and is hopefully passively assimilated by the learner. And I think these design elements are very important to have, and so I've tried to pay attention to those details and incorporate them where possible. So looking at your units, I chose these avatars because I like the way that they look. They actually come from a video on immune system biology, and I picked them because I think they give a little bit of character to the units that you play and create a bit of attachment there. One theory of game design is to allow the user to have customizable characters. That's not really a possibility in this game, but my way of creating characters that the user can form an attachment with is to add these kind of cute little avatars there. A reason I picked a turn-based strategy system is because strategy games really work well with the immune system, and for the most part I thought I would do a real-time strategy game. One reason I went away from that, it was pretty difficult to develop, and then secondly, it can get so overwhelming that you just end up playing the game and you lose track of any sort of learning. You just are playing a game. And the turn-based strategy allows you to pause, calculate what you're going to do, take a moment and come learn about the units and what your best options are. So really, as far as learning, I think that this worked out being much better. The music in the first scene, if you can hear it, let me turn it up. It was chosen to be kind of jovial, similar to if you're playing a video game and you're in the town hall, something along that nature. The first level is more of a tutorial level to get you familiar with the game mechanics. But really my ultimate goal is to create a state of flow. And a state of flow is a highly focused concentration. And when you're in that state, you learn very well. And so the music in the rest of the game is kind of this background music that's very calming and non-intrusive and will allow you to focus on what's going on in the game and not be overwhelmed by the music. So that's a choice made there. The mechanics of the game try to stay as true to real life as possible. So for instance, this is a body cell, just representing one of your natural cells that's not a white blood cell. And your immune system is there to protect your body, to protect your body cells. So when this virus, I hit end turn here, attacks and takes over the body cell, that's true to what happens in real life. If a virus attaches onto a cell, it injects its RNA in there, and then it uses that cell to create more. And that happens in the game. When the virus attacks the body cell, it gets taken over. You see I can no longer click on it. It's part of the pathogen side now. And at some configurable rate, it will move around the board and create new viruses. Let's go ahead and end the turns here. You see, I believe it's every fourth move. The infected cell created another virus using the host cell's machinery. It will continue to do this until destroyed. So it pops up an information box when these kind of more complex elements happen in the game. Because otherwise, you would just see a new virus pop out. The learner might not know exactly why that occurred, but the first time these functions happen, it lets the user know exactly what's going on. And then they can start to understand, okay, well, how would I avoid that happening? Or, oh, geez, that happens, and I need to stop that from happening. What units are best to stop that from happening in the future? And as the game increases, each level gets more difficult and requires more application of that type of knowledge, meaning it's less forgiving. If you don't know that knowledge, you won't be able to pass the level. But if you utilize that knowledge well enough, hopefully the game should be balanced to where you can beat it just fine. Not easily. We still want there to be a challenge, but you don't want them to be able to pass all the levels without knowing any of the information. Okay, so I'm going to jump to the third level here. You see the viral infection is now getting stronger. Viruses can't reproduce on their own. They need to take over another cell to use the natural killer cell if you get in trouble. So this level is all about viruses and the natural killer cell and their function. So I want to show a few things on this. The body cell has no way to really escape this virus. It can move away, but the virus's movement is 2. So it's going to infect that body cell. And this level is all about knowing one combo action. So, oh no, a virus infected and took over the body cell. And you can see this body cell is now taken over. Well, a B cell can come and either attack a virus or attack the body cell. And when it does that, it creates antibodies. And then, once those antibodies are created, this allows the natural killer cell to recognize it as an infected cell. And in real life, what it does is it initiates cell death. It's called apoptosis. And so that's the goal of this third level, is to understand that mechanic so you can be able to beat this level. So when I come here and attack this infected body cell, you see the combo action is displayed to the user so they're aware of what happened. And then now the body cell is gone. One other aspect of learning in this game is the boost function. And if you get in a situation similar to we're in now, where there's quite a few troops and quite a few damaged white blood cells, you might not be able to win the level. In fact, some levels can be challenging even if you play most of the correct moves. So this boost function allows you to take a gamble on a question, and if you get it right, your troops get a bonus, and if you get it wrong, the pathogens get a bonus. And this gives a little reward and cost to an element of learning, which is another important design theory. If the learner makes an incorrect response, there should be a small penalty. Nothing so severe as a character death or starting over, but just a small penalty. So let's take a guess here and say that this is produced in the thyroid. That's not correct. The enemy grows stronger. And you see the boost function is now gone. You get one chance of getting it right. I got it wrong, which means that if I go and look at the pathogens, this virus now has 5 out of 3 hit points. He was given an extra 2. He's also given a little bit of boost to other functions as well. So that took 3 attacks to take him out. Normally it would just take, if the B cell attacked him, it would have taken 1, or the macrophages would have taken 2. So that was a good penalty, but not one that's so overwhelming that you wouldn't be able to win. In the situation for the game state now, it'd be pretty difficult to win. So you can restart the level and give it another shot. Let's try the boost function now. Neutrophils are correct. Great. So now when I look at the white blood cells, 7 out of 5, they were given a boost. And this will make passing this level significantly easier. The game is available on the web or as a download to play on Mac or Windows systems. So be sure to check the links for those. I also will include a video of gameplay through all 3 levels. And that concludes my presentation. Thanks for watching.